Yeah, I'm with Keith Grasso, owner of Island Music in La Plata, Maryland, right?
La Plata.
La Plata. Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
I kind of went with the Latin pronunciation. um, yeah, I wanted to ask you. First, thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it. It's great to have you. I don't know if we've ever had you for a video for sure. We haven't had you in the magazine in a while, so really appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Sure. I know your governor has a stay-at-home over there in Maryland. So tell me about how you're handling as a business. First, it looks like you might be at the store. So
I'm at the store. Yep.
Okay. So you're working, but you can't have the store open. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I'm permitted to come in and do administrative tasks and process orders and obviously take care of our building and stuff of that nature. But in terms of having customers in, we're not really able to do that. And in terms of having employees in, I think we're able to have management folks in, but kind of for the safety of our employees, it's really just been me. So.
Okay. So tell me how you're handling these times. I mean, it's got to be hard. I mean, but you obviously can't have floor traffic. So how are you handling it? Are you doing a full online blitz? Are you doing social media blitz? I mean, can you do some sort of curbside thing? I mean, how do you handle it?
We're kind of doing a mixture of things that we're able to do. We really early on, when this outbreak first started and it first kind of started to become, common news to folks, we had started offering online lessons. So we were able to kind of get our current lesson customer base switched over. We offer them via Zoom, Skype, FaceTime, and we were able to kind of get our feet wet with that before there was the mandated shutdown. So we were able to switch over roughly 70% of our lesson base to doing online lessons, and we've picked up quite a few more students since the shutdown, because everybody's home and has some extra time on their hands. So we were able to kind of use our email marketing program and reach out to customers and kind of plant the idea, and obviously our social media and stuff like that. We've also been pretty successful in keeping our web business running. I think sales are a little bit less because folks are not everybody's in the position where they can buy right now, because a lot of folks are out of work and kind of uncertain about their future financially. But we've had pretty good success with our online sales still. And we've also, offered a local delivery, kind of where we can run stuff out to people, in the parking lot or within our community. We've done some free deliveries and stuff of that nature. And we've been doing the best that we can. It's certainly not business as usual here at Island Music. And it's been a little bit tougher, but we always try to adapt and get out ahead of the curve and do whatever we can to safely help our customers and keep our store going.
No, I know what I've definitely read about you in the past, that you're doing what you really love. So I mean, that's a great thing. So I'm sure that will still come off in your community and with the customers.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did want to ask you. So you did say it's a little bit tougher there, and of course the unemployment issue, the economic issue is a huge factor. But are you seeing some purchases, some positives from the people who just have a lot of free time, like you said, and they're home?
Oh, yeah.
They want to play music, right?
Absolutely. I think that, in tougher times, more than anything, people need music. And we've seen, a lot of interest in the lesson program. And, we've seen a lot of customers that are regular customers that are, just kind of carrying on, that they still love music. They still love our store and supporting our store. And, with all the negativity that's out there, we've seen a lot of really awesome, positive stuff happen. And sometimes it takes stuff like this for people to kind of come together and really show off positive sides of things. But I think people need music, and that's not going to go away.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there are not many positives about a situation like this. I mean, it's sad, of course, everything going on, people getting sick and people sadly passing away.
Absolutely.
If there is, I would say one of the, other than the pollution reduction that I keep reading about, the other positive is that people really do come together. I mean,
They do.
they're nicer, they care about each other more, and they know we're in it together. If I'm out there and I'm sick and I infect all sorts of people. So you have to think about that more. So we do band together more. I mean, it is an important factor. I did want to, just ask you, what's the, is there anything you didn't know about when since you started, something that you were surprised with when you had to change your philosophy? And, is there any, what word of advice you can give to someone if they're going through this as a retailer? I mean, another retailer? They're concerned. I mean,
Yeah,
what would you
I
say?
mean, the biggest thing that I could offer is remain positive and have an open mind. This is not a permanent situation, hopefully. So the best thing you can do is try to adapt. And the rules change every day. For a couple weeks, we were able to have our full staff in the store, be open normal hours, facilitate curbside sales, that kind of thing. And then when we had our mandated shutdown, we had to change there, curbside kind of stuff went away. We couldn't have people in the store. Then when it was a stay-at-home order, we, staff couldn't come in the store. So you have to be able to quickly change and, be optimistic and really just do the best that you can. One thing that's helped me kind of through this is to think that I'm not the only person going through this. I'm not the only retailer going through this. Our whole industry is going through this. So I like to say that we're all alone in this together. So I think, working with your manufacturers, your other stores, your key customers, and being as upfront and honest as you can. When we went into this, we, kind of got out ahead of it and had started planning for the shutdown really before it even happened. So, early on we'd adapted, we'd let our vendors know, hey, we're probably going to have a shutdown. We're not going to be accepting any more shipments right now. Anything we have on open order, push out. We let our key customers, government, school system, stuff of that nature know, hey, you know what, there's going to be some interruptions in business. So try to plan ahead as best you can. And again, the rules change every day. So it's hard to do that. And yeah, just be positive. It's really easy to kind of get down and say, well, things are really bad right now, but you have to look at the positives. We have this awesome technology right now that you and I can be doing this interview, that you can be talking to your customers. You could be virtually demoing gear. There's, you can ship stuff anywhere in the world fairly easy. It's very easy to get eyes on your store from all over the world with the technology that we have on the internet, whether it's your website, your social media, third-party platforms. There's certainly still ways to go out there and push and do what you can to make business happen safely.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a tough situation. We got to try to remain positive. I mean, all retailers are definitely being adversely affected by it, but we're being affected in different ways. Luckily, there's a great love for music, and people still want to play, and they can play at home, which is much different than being in restaurant retail.
Absolutely.
Restaurant,
Absolutely.
which is sad. I mean, that's a lot of them are going to close, which is horrible. So at least we have this great love. I guess one of the last things I want to ask you is, once we do get past this, I'm going to say once, I'm not going to say if. I'm hoping.
We will.
I think we will. I'm sure you probably have to devise a plan. I'm not sure you did it yet, but how are you going to, control the customer that's a safe place to be in your store? I mean, what efforts are you going to take as far as letting them know it's a safe, clean environment for them? I mean, is this something you keep thinking about when the store opens?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think things will ever all the way go back to how they were. I think people will be more precautious now and kind of a little bit more forward thinking in terms of cleanliness and unfortunately, I think that this will also impact how we interact with each other socially. I mean, even something as simple as a handshake, people are going to give a second thought to now.
Mhm.
Being one-on-one in a room with an instructor, in closer quarters, people are going to think about it a little bit more. We'll kind of navigate those changes as they come, and kind of use our kind of our heart and our mind as a guide and see, what we think will be the best ways to conduct business. But I can assure you that it's probably not going to be the same as it was before. Um, we just need to be ready to adapt to that as things change. And I don't think that, in 30 days, all of a sudden, the world will just turn back on and everybody will go back to how they were. I think it will be a gradual, uh, revise of walk-in retail and walk-in lessons and stuff like that. And I'm sure that there will be some state and governmental mandated things that they probably want you to do. So we'll just see what the best way to operate is, and go from there.
Okay, sounds great. Yeah, I agree. I think the handshake might be going the way of the dodo bird right now. So I think that might be done for good. So we're gonna have to do something else about that. I'm gonna look forward to giving you a fist bump or an elbow bump or something. The next time we see each other, maybe the Winter Nam show in January, maybe we'll see you there.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's changed. But you confident? Finally, since you mentioned that, are you confident though that you could think, even though things have changed and people might go to some different methods, or are you could pick up some of that business once things get better, that people just do some more online, activities as
Absolutely.
opposed to
Yeah.
else?
Absolutely. Again, the trick is remaining positive. You know what? We'll all get through this, and we'll all come out the other end just fine. We really don't have, an alternative. Some of us, this is what we live and breathe and do. So we'll come back and we'll figure out whatever changes that need to be made and kind of do business in the new world. But we're all gonna get through this and get back to making music and making people happy by putting instruments in their hands. So
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Keith. I appreciate it.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.